You mentioned the offensive line. How likely do you think a bounce back is for them? What do you expect from them? I keep going all over the place. Like I think about it, and I think they are a talented group, but offensive linemen do not age gracefully, and this group is getting right near that 30-year-old mark where you take a beating in the trenches in the NFL.
Yeah, excellent points. It depends what your definition of bounce back is. Do I expect them to be better than they were last year? 100% absolutely. And a lot of that is scheme dependent, going back to what you're comfortable with, what your skill set is more suited for. So I do expect it from that perspective. And if you look on paper, this is an excellent offensive line. But it all comes down to health. The whole thing boils down to health. And there's been a emphasis throughout the mini camps of practicing faster with more intensity. I expect that to bleed over into training camp, but not with the offensive line. I expect this to be an offensive line that sees plenty of rest days. Sans DeJuan Jones, he's the one player that if he starts getting rest days, I'm going to start getting worried. But across the line, Joel and Ethan and Wyatt and Jack, like Joel, I wouldn't be surprised if he gets a rest day every 3 days. Kind of same with Jack, and the other guys maybe a little less frequently, but that gives you time to see what they have behind him. You do sign Cornelius Lucas, a veteran offensive tackle with plenty of experience. Tevin Jenkins, those are your first two guys off the bench, in my opinion. But you do have Zach Zinter in his second year, and Javion Cohen, Luke Whippler. These are guys that we're going to get to see because these guys are going to get rest days. But this all boils down to health. If these guys can't stay healthy for the majority of the season, I don't expect this offensive line to start all 17 games together. That just sounds crazy, me saying it out loud. But I do, if this unit plays 14 of the 17 together, I expect they'll see decent success this year.
What are your thoughts about DeJuan Jones? I'm not exactly sure why. I just have a feeling he might. I think he's going to put it all together. I think he's going to end up being one of the top 10 to 12 left tackles in the NFL. Mm-hmm. And people that watch know I have no problem admitting when I'm wrong. I saw enough when he was on the field, and I've heard enough and seen enough that I think he's about to take a pretty big step forward in his career.
Same thing. It all comes down to health, right? The skill set's definitely there to play left tackle. He's a commensurate pass blocker. He struggles in the run, which isn't as important on the left side as it is the right. And they're finally making the transition to make him a full-time left tackle. And he did the prerequisite stuff to get his body ready for the season. And I was super worried when he had come off that knee injury last year. And when a guy is that big and has a propensity to get bigger the way he does, and he wouldn't be able to walk and be immobile for several weeks, if not months, that worried me. Your weight could get out of hand, and that'll be the first thing that gets him out of the league. It won't be his skills. And I've said this since the day he was drafted. Greatness is on the table for that young man, but he has to want it. And he proved that he could get his body ready. Now it's about sustaining that over the course of what is a crazy long season. But he has the skills. So now it's about putting it to the test and staying healthy and being just someone you can rely on, be your North Star of the line. And if you're right, and if he was a top 10 tackle in this league, getting him in round 4, that'd be a steal right there.